Hello, and welcome back to the 3 Up Moon livestream. My name is Matt, otherwise known as 3 Up Moon on Twitch, and it is Friday, February 12th, 2021. We are going to be continuing our playthrough of Final Fantasy IX, as every Friday we'll be playing a different Final Fantasy game. This is part of the new Final Fantasy Fridays that we'll be doing on the channel. If you're watching live on Twitch, thank you so much. And if you're watching on the 3 Up Moon YouTube channel, go ahead and click subscribe, and that way you can watch every part of the playthrough and catch every stream that we do. We'll have the game starting in just a moment here. What we've been listening to in the beginning of the stream here is music from several different Game Boy Advance games, including the Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku series, the Advance Wars series, Harvest Moon, and Pokemon, if you're interested in what music we've been hearing. Also some Mother 3 music as well. Now it'll just be a second here and I'll have the game pulled up in just a moment. Also want to say thank you to the most recent followers of the channel. We're very close to hitting affiliate, so go ahead and click that follow button if you aren't already following the channel. And where we left off last part, if you're watching this on YouTube, you may likely be watching this on a playlist for our entire, or that includes our entire Final Fantasy IX playthrough. Where we left off in the last part was we got to Garganroo, and we, and by we I mean Princess Garnet, Steiner, and Marcus, all got to Garganroo, and we have just been confronted by a boss. It's sort of like a snake dragon sort of creature, and right when we kick into the game, we're going to be taking on the boss. We don't have the full party. We'll have to do some healing because we didn't get a chance to heal, but that's what we'll be picking up. So just a moment here. Hello everyone. Welcome to Final Fantasy Fridays on the 3 Up Moon livestream. Let me just load the game up where we were at. You should be able to see it in just a moment here, and also hear it. Now, like I said, we're just going to be jumping right into a boss battle. Here we go. And let me know if there's any issues with audio. between game audio and commentary. If you're just jumping in, obviously we've named Princess Garnet Tifa, and Biff is Steiner. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Oh. It's not doing anything. I don't know why I'm using minus strike there. This game is just fantastic when it comes to music, especially the battle music. I mentioned it before in other streams. I would love to see the Final Fantasy IX music orchestrated in concert. That would be really cool. I think we can try to escape, really? So maybe this isn't a boss fight, or it's scripted. That's interesting. It's got to be scripted. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so it escaped, and then it allowed us to get back to Alexandria, I believe. This is like a shortcut from the city of Treno to the Kingdom of Alexandria, which is, I think, also where, like, the other characters, Zidane and Vivi, which are known as 3 at Moon and Hatboy in our playthrough. They're with Lucky Tongue and Toriel, which are the other two, I guess the blue mage and the red mage of the group. And they are in Burmecia. They are kind of on their own quest. The party got separated, so we'll likely be connecting with them in Alexandria. Hope everyone's having an amazing Friday so far. Earlier we were streaming Super Mario 3. It was pretty fun. How do we get out? Well, this way. Steiner's got no idea. Dr. Tot told me about this place. My ancestors built this place to keep enemies from invading. Dr. Tot also said, Princess, we can hear your stories later. The stale air cannot be good for us. And we gotta save Blank. So, Blank is a member of Marcus's crew, and so is 3 at Moon. And he's been petrified early on in the game. He was petrified along with the Evil Forest. And we just picked up the Super Soft from Dr. Tot, who's a family friend of the princess, a longtime family friend. Yeah, of course. Thing 1 and Thing 2 over here. Come on. And we're back in Burmecia. I believe this is where we had just fought a boss. Actually, is where we left off. Toriel is obviously a reference to Undertale. very good indie RPG that is inspired very clearly by Earthbound, which is the first RPG we played on the channel. Oh yes, they overheard, that's what it was. We overheard Beatrix and the Queen talking about going to Clara, which is a different city, different kingdom. Do you think we'll learn more about those black mages if we go to Clara? Yeah, I'd say we'd learn a lot about them as long as we follow Bron and that Kuja guy. Then I'm with you. What about the princess? Tifa, I'd never forget about her. She might not be here in Burmecia, but I know we'll find her soon. Well, let's move out. Some say it lies in the desert west of Burmecia, but I know not whether we can enter the town itself. Brighten up a little. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. So the desert west of Burmecia. Cool, we can finally equip. Let's save, and then let's equip all of our new equipment that we got in the last town, in Treno. I really like that, and I think the old Final Fantasies work this way as well, but I like that when the parties are separating for story purposes, that they all share the same inventory. So no matter who's in your party, if you visit a shop, you can buy equipment for anybody. And I really like that. It's a smart move. Yay! Okay, perfect. So yeah, as you can see, we've got 3-Up Moon, which is Zidane. Hat Boy is the name we gave Vivi. I'm not sure the actual name. I think Freya is the name of Toriel's character, and then Kina is Licky Tongue. Just because of the tongue, we had to make that reference. Let's see if we can go to equip and optimize. So we've got a chain plate is a better item. Cool. Okay, so now we can sell whatever we aren't using. Oh, we already had the needle fork. Okay. And the lightning staff. Yep. Cool, so we already had a lot of these items. That's fine. Let's see where everyone's at with abilities. Soul Blade draws out the hidden power in Thief Swords. I think I've used that once in battle. Thundara causes a lot of thunder damage to single or multiple targets. Oh, sorry. Cool. Race's Wind causes or casts regen on all party members. I'm not sure if yeah, I'm not sure if regen actually heals you like Phoenix Down or. And right now we have Angel's Snack for Licky Tongue, which uses Remedy on all party members. Pumpkinhead, which I think you can only use a couple of times. These are all abilities that we learned from using the Eat command, learned from enemies. One of the things I really like about this game is the return to form with the classic Final Fantasy classes. So Toriel is sort of like a red mage. Licky Tongue has abilities that are akin to a blue mage from Final Fantasy V. It's pretty cool. It's always been one of my favorite classes was Blue Mage, because they can learn abilities from enemies. What equipable ones do we not have? Devil Killer, yep. I don't think we need that. Cool. So we're looking to go west of Burmecia. Oh. That's pretty crazy. It's like a giant sand geyser. It's nice to be back with this party because I haven't used them in a while. Yo. That looked like it was going to do a lot more damage than it actually did. Oh, that's Clara. Interesting. Very close. Clara's trunk. They decided not to go with Lord of the Rings font for this one. The tempest subsides. Must find yummy yummies. Oh, cool. Another cutscene. Haven't seen one in a while. Reminds me a lot of the Tree of Mana from the Mana series. Really cool. That's awesome. I really appreciate the cutscene leading right into the pre-rendered screen. That's really cool. Nice. This is a really cool environment. Very atmospheric. It reminds me a lot of like H.R. Geiger, design-wise. So I definitely remember this area from when I played this way back in the day, but I don't remember all of it. So it's basically a mostly blind playthrough. Really cool music. Simple, like simplistic, minimal music. It's really cool. Oh, wow. Alright. It's a beefy enemy. What? Hey. Oh no. I didn't mean to attack with Hat Boy. I wanted to use some magic there. No, I did it again. Welcome to the stream. Oh no. Nice. Just gotta heal Licky Tongue here. Tutorial is level 14. So what we'll do, let me just see what Race's Wind does. Can't do, yeah, so regeneration. I don't think regeneration is going to heal Licky Tongue. I think it's just going to slowly heal. Didn't mean to waste a potion there. Magician's Shoes. Shoes packed with magic. Okay. Cool. Didn't see that either. Is the ice staff stronger? So it stays the same. The only difference is that Thundara and Poison, Blizzard. Oh, I see. That's why we have Thundara, because we have the Lightning Staff. I get it. Okay, well let's just hold on to that one for now, and then we'll just keep the Ice Staff, and we shouldn't have gotten rid of the Fire one, but that's okay. We'll just hold on to them in case we want to switch them out for any battle. Oh, this is an interesting looking bird. I feel like this is what Murkrow should have evolved into in the Pokemon series. I'm constantly impressed by the designs, the character designs in the battles, as well as the atmospheres of the battle the battle backgrounds, like where we're fighting these monsters. It's really cool. Drastically different from Final Fantasy VIII. Very cool. Very like H.R. Geiger inspired, it looks like. Super cool to be grinding here and fighting enemies. We need to get strong for whatever boss fight is around the corner, so. Nice, we're hitting for 720, that's crazy. Well, hello there. How's it going, man? What's up? Welcome, Parahax. Welcome, Two-Tone. Thank you so much for the raid. We just got reintroduced to our party here of Zidane and Vivi and Kina and Freya. And this like super cool H.R. Geiger inspired design. Oh, nice. Food. I just had some food with my partner. It's really nice. Oh, no worries. That's a really, really fun hack to watch. I really like the hack, Parahax. Mario Curse of the King Boo. Really cool. And for anyone watching that isn't following Two-Tone yet, go ahead and check out that channel. There's some really, really cool retro streams that occur on the channel. Hey, no problem. Absolutely, thank you. So right now we're, for anyone just joining, we're a little more than maybe 20 minutes into Disc 2 of Final Fantasy IX. I played this a long time ago. When it came out, I have vivid memories of playing it with my cousin, but I don't remember most of it, so it's mostly a blind playthrough. With little pockets of like, oh yeah, I remember that boss fight, or I remember this area. Yeah. We named Kina Licky Tongue, which I love. There we go. Nice. Yeah, just the tongue. I always liked Kina. And I like that, I was mentioning it earlier, but I really like that this is a return to form to the original Final Fantasy classes and the fantasy, just atmosphere and environment. Final Fantasy VIII, I was recently watching True Individual 90 stream that, and it's very, very different in terms of even the character designs. They're just a lot more realistic, and here they really exaggerate the enemy designs. The enemy designs actually remind me a lot of the Dragon Quest series and Earthbound. And I really like Kina because Kina has the ability to eat and learn a move from an enemy. So it has some blue magic abilities, stuff that I was first introduced to in Final Fantasy V. So it was a nice return to form. I'm gonna examine it before I put my hand in there. That's crazy. Let's do it. Cool. Very cool. Now it's like Super Metroid, the self-destruction sequence. Whoa. Oh, great. Not the time to have a battle when we have to be escaping this place before it fills up with sand. Now, when I was younger, I used to not like these battles in Final Fantasy games. I used to be so frustrated with just how often they appeared, but I find that now I just really enjoy the grind of a good RPG. Oh. Hit for 420. Of course. Yeah, so we can use a blue magic ability if we want it. Let's use Pumpkinhead. If an enemy is weak enough, and we can learn a ability from them, we can learn stuff like that, and we just basically use the eat command when it's weak enough. There we go. The Dragonfly card. Last stream we actually played several rounds of Tetramaster, which is a really fun minigame. I do not fully understand how it works, but you can walk up to people in towns and challenge them to basically like a Magic the Gathering-esque looking minigame. Oh, no, not what I'm looking for. That's the vines I'm looking for. There we go. It's my only way out, so... You feel like you went through phases as a kid, you hated random battles, then in your teens you really liked grinding in levels? Nice. I think as long as the game plays well, like if it's fun to play, there are RPGs where like the grind is terrible because the battle system sucks, or just I didn't have as much thought put into it. Ooh. Let's use this. Will that actually heal us? I really enjoyed the battle system in Earthbound, and I'm enjoying this one as well. So I'm not sure what regen does, but Toriel has an ability that will, says it's only 12 MP, and it will heal, it's called Race's Wind, and it will cast regen on the entire party member, but I don't think it heals HP. Got to familiarize myself with the systems here in Final Fantasy 7, or Final Fantasy 9, sorry. A lot of people hate on the battle system in Earthbound. It's yeah, it's unique. It's kind of why like Undertale's battle system works so well as well. It's simple and it's unique and done really well. Well, let's just do the healing this way, I guess, unfortunately. Okay. There's lots of hidden items around here, so I just want to make sure I don't miss any. And we're more than likely going to take on a boss. We started the stream with like a scripted battle, but we're more than likely going to take on a boss at the end of this area. The name of this place is called Clara. I'm going to attack this heart, not the sand beast here. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, the music in Earthbound is fantastic, and this game as well. You know what's interesting about the Earthbound music is it's actually, a lot of it is created through samples of really well-known pop music. You can look further into it. Oh, this is where the tree was. Interesting. That's very weird. So this is the same area we were just in. The tree, there was like a tree in this room, but now it's missing. Oh, I see. It's supposed to be like the illusion that this room is filled up with sand, and we were here, and now we're here in the room. That makes sense. That's silly. Nice. We just beefed up the characters too. We picked up some new gear for everybody, including the princess and Steiner and Marcus. Let's go up here. The music in this area is fantastic. Already got a needle fork. I think we can use two. Actually, another system I really like in this game for Final Fantasy IX is the synthesis system. You can take two items, or like two wristbands or two swords, and synthesize them into a stronger one. And it reminds me a lot of the, obviously this came out first, but it reminds me a lot of the alchemy pot system in Dragon Quest VIII, a game I spent a lot of time with on the PlayStation 2. Really enjoyed it. Just like a little mailbox in a Mog. It's funny. And realizing there's a Mog here, we could have just used one of our tents instead of wasting all those potions, but that's okay. Boy, buddy. Easy there with the counters. Jeez. What is this, Pokemon? We got Blizzard, we got Sandstorm. Shit. We win? Yes. Oh, what a waste of 2 Phoenix Downs. Well, at least we got one back. At least we earned one back, that's fine. Well, we won't use potions, but we'll do this. We got a bunch of tents, so... What? You can't use a tent here? Come on. Every single Mog up to this point has given us the option to use a tent. It's gonna make us waste our potions, but that's fine. Oh, there we go. Thank you. It's the perfect place to set up camp while the place is filling up with sand. So silly. What do we got for health? I think we gotta use another one. Sure, the place is filling up. We got a limited time limit where we have to get out of here before we all are buried in sand, but let's just have another nap. Where are we at now? There we go, 722. So I was always under the impression that a tent fully healed, it was just a full heal, but no, it only heals you by, like, it heals like a chunk of your health. I think half of it. So I'm finding I've had to use 2 tents pretty much every time. Which I don't remember when playing the old Final Fantasy games, like the classic FF5, FF6. I highly recommend, if you want to dive back into one of your favorite retro RPGs, one that you played as a kid, totally do it. This is the whole point of the channel, is I wanted to start this channel to start rediscovering and share my rediscovery of these games with other people. And I highly encourage you to try and play some of your favorite retro games, if you can. Revisit them in your own way. And if you've never played this, definitely give it a shot. It was recently just remastered, and I believe you can get it for the Nintendo Switch. Two wild caterpies appeared. This as well too, like, simple enemy, but the design is just perfect. It's got like exaggerated sort of cartoony design. Really like the enemy designs in this game. Rumble. Yeah. Carrion Worm card. Oh, nice. Hey, Daryl. How's it going? Hope you had a good day, despite being busy and doing all that packing and organizing. Flame Staff, cool, perfect. We got rid of one, so now we have Flame Staff, Ice Staff, and Lightning Staff. And I think depending on which spell we want, Thundara, Fyra, and Blizzara, it's like the second level of damage for the Ice, Fire, and Thunder magic. Basically, depending on which staff we have, that's the only way we can use those spells. So it's good to have all three. Nice. Right on. That's good. Good to hear. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta remember we have ore. We can use that to heal in battle as well. Not just the potions. Gotta heal Licky Tongue. The drum fills in the beginning of this battle theme are pretty hilarious. They feel very Rototom-y. Rototoms just are super cartoony sounding. Oh, I always gotta get into the habit of only using spells with Hatboy. I know I've said that the last couple times we've streamed Final Fantasy 9. Ah, did it again. Ah. Every time. It's just the RPG speed buttons. I'm just tapping X too fast. So we only just got reintroduced to these 4 party members. We were playing as the Princess and Steiner, and they just made it back to Alexandria and were captured by Thorn and Zorn, the Thing 1 and Thing 2 looking jester characters that work for Queen Braun. So now we are actually exploring Clara, this area, because the Queen and Beatrix, we overheard them saying that's where they were going next. So we just left Bermesia, which has been completely annihilated, presumably by Alexandria. And so now that's kind of where we are in the story. We're just headed here and exploring here because we are trying to follow Beatrix and the Queen to figure out what's going on. Obviously the Queen is corrupt, and Kuja is another character that the Queen is working with, who is the main villain of the story, I think. There's lots of things I can't remember 100%. Ha! Nice. Licky Tongue just mega evolved. Obviously, Licky Tongue just went into trance state, and that's something I like about this game a lot. Essentially, it's like a Kaioken, or turning Super Saiyan. Your character is overcome with emotion and becomes way stronger, is able to use certain abilities. If it doesn't die. And once the trance bar fills up, it does not... if you don't use your ability in that battle, it starts from 0 again in the next battle. Or if you die, it starts from 0 again, so... We missed our chance, but that's okay. Trance chance. Trance time! Like in Mario Party. It's one of my favorite sound effects, sound bites from Mario Party. Chance time! Okay, we just got something that I've never seen before. Anointment. Cures trouble. Okay. Yeah. This might be silly to do. Oh, cool. Just a wraparound area. Nice. Now, recently I heard there are glitches that people have been... This is totally unrelated to Final Fantasy, but there are glitches that people have been using or exploiting in the original Dragon Quest games for Famicom, which is the Japanese Nintendo. And basically what they do to achieve certain glitches is, I think it's Dragon Quest 2, is they'll actually put a hot plate underneath, like turn it on and put it underneath their Nintendo Famicom system, and there's something to do with the heat that will actually, if the system or the cartridge is at a particular temperature, it will allow a glitch and allow you to actually perform certain actions faster. It's crazy. I'd never heard of anyone doing this before, but apparently there's a whole scene of people who use hot plates to glitch out their Dragon Quest games on Famicom. Watched a video of it on YouTube recently. I was like, what? It's pretty nuts. It's in a heart. Nice. Lucky we got a miss there. Welcome, welcome. Oh, attacked the wrong guy. Ooh. Yeah, if you attack the golem himself, he'll actually counter you. It's funny, he uses counter and sandstorm. And also, we're using blizzard, so it's basically... We're basically playing Pokemon here. Golem versus Licky Tongue. Licky Tongue uses Blizzard, Golem uses Counter. Blizzard misses, Counter misses. Throw a Pokeball, Pokeball misses, run away. Potione. Thank you. Okay. No. Oh shoot. Oh. Okay. No. I'm not mashing nearly fast enough here. Ah. No, okay, so we have to get there a different way. This is silly. There we go. 900 gil. Oh, no, we do. Oh, come on. Can hop up in the other directions, but oh, you just have to be very slow. Okay. High potion. That was worth it. Ah. Of course. I feel like we were dealing with a lot of quicksand earlier. Yeah, mash the X button. Oh, totally. That's happened a bunch of times in the playthrough, the fourth wall break. You know, you walk into a new town in an RPG. You ask them, "What's up?" You ask like a townsperson, random townsperson, "What's up?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing. If you need to save the game, press start." I think actually when you play Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Game Boy, there is a character that explains to you that if you use start, you can save the game. But I have no idea why I'm saying that or what it means. So they do that fourth wall break. I think it's in Mabe Village or Animal Village. So there's a few games that have done that. See, a few more people are tuning in. Welcome to the stream. We are in Clara, and we are just exploring the ruins here with Zidane. Oh, no. With Zidane and Vivi, Kina, and Freya on our team right now. Okay, so there's two directions to go here. That's cool. I really like the environments here and the music. And I mentioned earlier, but yeah, H.R. Geiger influence for sure. There's a lot of the aesthetic of H.R. Geiger's work in these caverns and these really beautiful structures that have been taken over by like roots and mold and stuff. It's cool. Oh, lucky tongue. Gotta heal ya. Oh, hold on. Nope. Damn. Trouble juice. Doesn't sound good. Ew. Pretty sure that bug just puked all over Toriel. That's disgusting. I'm not sure what status ailment Toriel has there, but we got ourselves another Carrion Worm card. It's actually a pretty decent card for the Tetramaster minigame. We lost a bunch last stream when we were taking on opponents in the card stadium in Treno. You love how they do that shit and put the buttons into the dialogue unironically. Yeah, totally. Lots of... I mean, if you're translating also, like, from Japanese to English, a lot of those translations, like, you know the translators are having some fun throwing in really bad puns and dad jokes and silly fourth wall breaks and stuff like that. There's lots of really great translation mix-ups as well. Go. Well, they'll leave it. Cool. Interesting. Oh, nice. I see. We stop the sand in this one area. Oop. Okay, cool. Oh, you can go this way. Interesting. Yeah, so that's where we came in. So we haven't gone up this way. Before we go left, let's go right. Oh, never mind. I remember this. I fell for it last time, too. Oh well, more battles. Nothing wrong with that. There is a boss fight right around the way. I have no idea what it is, but we're going to need the experience, I know that. Especially Licky Tongue. Licky Tongue is getting KO'd. We don't have a high potion right now, which sucks. And of course, let's worry about healing Licky Tongue after we get through the battle. Should be using magic. Nice. Alright, heal time. We do have a high potion. Use the high potion on him. That's all we got for now. Ooh, what's going on with Toriel here? I have no idea what that is, so... Nope. Nope. It's not soft. Is it trouble? It is. Okay, so that is the icon for the trouble status ailment, and anointment fixes it. That's funny. That's what I mean. That's definitely like a translation thing from Japanese to English that The translator thought they were really cool, really funny. Thought we put this really bad pun and dad joke into the game. Is that all we got from that? It's like, whatever. Okay. Am I missing something? Was there a way to leave in this? If we go... Yeah, totally. We didn't go this way. There we go. I also really, really love how they... Obviously, it was invented really in Final Fantasy VII, but how they have these really beautiful cinematic angles and how each screen in this game shifts an angle and makes it feel like you're playing through a movie. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII and 8 also do this, which is just a great way to like immerse you. I think we can use these for chocobos, right? Cures Berserk. Oh, interesting. Item has no effect in the field, only in battle, and it's a chocobo's favorite food. Great enemy design. Yes. 864. Let's go. Sucks that no one on our party, except for the princess, has a cure move. Or has any white magic. Something I really love about Final Fantasy V is the ability to pick any class for any character, and you can level up each class for each character, which means you can create multiple different versions of Bart's, or you can create multiple different versions of the different characters, right? So you can almost do a different playthrough every time, which is kind of cool. I haven't played the Final Fantasy V remakes, but I know it's been remade on the DS. Kind of in the same aesthetic as this, actually. Feels really similar. I've seen some people play it before, but I'll be playing Final Fantasy V on the channel, and likely I'll be doing the original. I'm not going to be playing the DS version, but I have the PlayStation 1 version. I've waited your coming, my lady. How did you come to know my identity? The King of Burmecia has requested that we guide you to him. Long live the king. Take me to him immediately. At once, my lady. 3 Up Moon. I shall go see the king. Why not take this chance to rest? Good idea. Ooh, I don't know what that said there. Hope I didn't agree to anything. I go find yummy yummies by myself. Yeah, beautiful environments, wow. The areas like this remind me of the Mana series. Secret of Mana, Sword of Mana, Legend of Mana. There's no market today, so the usual crowd is gone. Let's move on. This also reminds me of Chrono Cross visually as well. The Chrono Trigger sequel for PlayStation. This windmill brings the blessings of water to our humble town. It uses the power of the sandstorm to pump water up from the ground. Come, next I shall show you the observatory. Oh, we are literally in the center of this like crazy sand tornado. That's pretty cool. Hey, welcome to the stream for those that are just joining. Hope you're having an awesome Friday night so far. Welcome to Final Fantasy Friday. Oh wow, they pray to the sandstorm because it keeps them alive. Next is the cathedral, the last stop on our tour. Interesting. The high priest who brings peace to our souls resides in the cathedral. The King of Burmecia and Lady Toriel are meeting inside this building. It also houses the harp, whose magic stone powers the sandstorm. Okay. Let us make our way back. Alright. Okay, boo-boo. That concludes the tour. This is top. Oop. There's something right behind here. Can we interact with it? No, we can't. Nice. So apparently you can't actually view all the active time events that occur in the game, or there's a specific order in which you view them in order for you to view them all, if that makes sense. Just finding this out recently, but yeah, several times we had an active time event show up and there was a choice of 3 of them. We can only pick 1. And there is an achievement associated with that, I believe, in the remake, is viewing all the active time events. You know can make famous Alexandrian dish, Queen's Meal. You know have famous Southgate bun cake? Uh-oh. Lucky Tongue's going through a blood sugar crash. Only a tiny fraction of us made it here to clear it, damn it. I wonder if you can challenge these folks to a card game, to Tetramaster. Look, pointy-headed devil. Don't come any closer. You demon, leave my family alone. People don't like the Hat Boy. Can't judge a Hat Boy by his hat. I hope everyone who stayed in Burmecia is doing okay. Let's see. You can't battle them. Challenge them to a card game. Moon Maiden Claire. The sandstorm that protects our town is powered by magic. To keep the storm in motion, we perform a sacred dance to the melody of a harp adorned with a magic stone. Thunder Gloves. Thunder Gloves! Who can use them? Gloves with a thunder god's power dwelling inside. It gives you thunder damage, defense. We might give those to Hat Boy because he has the lightning staff right now, so might as well boost that stuff. Nice. Okay. Yeah, let's buy some stuff. Before we do, let's sell what we have because we just got some new equipment. And I know we don't need this. or this. Keep that, keep that. We're keeping all 3 stabs because they will unlock the next level of the ice spell, lightning spell, and flame spell for Hat Boy. Let's get rid of that. Desert boots. Boots with good traction, earth damage reduced by 50. Cool. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's see. So mithril armor we want for Toriel. So 3 mithril vests. Mithril helmet for Toriel. The bandana for 3-up moon, and then 2 mages hats for our hat boys. I guess Licky Tongue is a hat boy as well, considering it's just a chef's hat. Thunder gloves we have. Cool, so it's for Toriel. Mithril gloves. Nope. And mithril armlet. 1, 2, 3. Hey Chris, how's it going? You still working on that video? Welcome to the stream. And partisan, yep, let's do that. Okay. So nice. Nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Cool, let's equip these things. There we go. No. If we're gonna use the inn, we'll make sure that all the party members are here. Ether, thank you, thank you. But I will go ahead and search the cupboards. Yep. Also definitely gonna save. Nice. Slot 3 as usual. Oh yeah. Yeah, we both had it. It was a classic. Great game. I really, really enjoy the music and the atmosphere of this game. Definitely a masterpiece for sure. Some of the writing is a little off, but other than that, I really like it. I know that some people get frustrated with this game sometimes. There's some mechanics within this game that can be a little finicky and annoying. Nice. Ooh, this one's pretty close, but I love Final Fantasy V. That one's one of my favorites. Final Fantasy VI has a fantastic soundtrack and just is an excellent game. And I really like the first 2 as well. They're difficult as all hell, but they're very good. Very fun games. Hold on, before we do these active time events, this looks like a maze of an area to explore, so let's just do the active time events here, and then we'll take on each path so we don't miss one. Licky Tongue, mushroom. Batcha, mushroom. I hope it's edible. Uh-oh, he's tripping out. Final Fantasy 1, I feel like was broken in a lot of ways because they did have to rush it. There are so many moments in Final Fantasy 1 where you walk off the path of the main story or where they want you to go, and you just get completely obliterated by enemies that are just way too strong. But, I mean, the game, like, as far as I know, I think Squaresoft was making games like 3D World Runner for Nintendo, which is fantastic. We're going to play that on the stream as well. And racing games and things like that. So Final Fantasy was like their last, the first Final Fantasy was sort of, in their mind, the last game they were going to make, because it was sort of a make or break them kind of thing. If it wasn't successful, it would have been their last game they could have afforded, basically. And so that's why they called it Final Fantasy, and then of course it blew up and became a huge craze. And if that didn't happen, then we wouldn't have Kingdom Hearts or any of the amazing Square games that aren't in the Final Fantasy series that we got over the years. Yeah, they don't like Hat Boy. Okay, so let's go left and make sure that we don't miss anything here. Clara has not seen visitors for hundreds of years. Phoenix Pinion, I believe, you can use in battle. It's like Phoenix Down. But you can't use it on the field. Oh, another shot. Yes, please. I can't buy high potions, but might be able to farm some in some battles. Let's do that. 4 of those. 4 of those. Just like being stocked up with stuff here, because you never know. 1 tent. This is going to wrap us around, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, Mike had Final Fantasy 1 on NES. I remember that. Okay, I don't want to go in there yet. We're so happy the Clarins decided to take us in. In days of old, the folk of Clara and Burmecia lived under the same sky. But Clarins fled to this tree to avoid conflict with the Burmecians, who began to value the arts of war. Clarin people are kind of stiff, but they're nice once you get to know them. He had a Nintendo cabinet, I remember that. It was awesome. I remember having the Game Genie with the full book of codes, and we were able to do things to Mario 3 or like NES games that would like allow characters to moon jump or fly or walk on walls, give infinite lives. It was really fun. You plug that into your Nintendo and then a cartridge into the Game Genie. Okay. Just making sure we do due diligence with our exploration. I don't want to miss anything. We didn't go down here yet. Ooh. Oh, cool. Yeah, we did. It all just loops. It's just a loop. It's just a loop. Okay, we gotta go interrupt Toriel and the king here. Progress the story. We got some decent equipment, so once we get everyone on the party back with us, then should be fine. I have a message for Master 3-Up Moon from Lady Toriel. I was told to convey the following. 3-Up Moon, this may take some time, so please wait at the end. Where's the end? Oh, yeah. Dumb. This kind of reminds me of one of the villages in Final Fantasy X. It was very much like this. And it's the point when the characters sort of all really settle in as like realizing they're on an adventure together. accepting the fact that even though their stories have been thrown together sort of like in a tornado, hurricane-like fashion, that they are together and that they're a team now. It looks exactly like this. Help! Help! What's the matter? The antlion's mauling a kid. Oh no. Antlion is a classic Final Fantasy villain. I believe Final Fantasy IV, it's a boss, and Final Fantasy V as well. And you really didn't see characters like this in 7 and 8 that much. I feel like a lot of the music is also referencing music from Final Fantasy I in this. Is it this way? Yeah. Just gotta follow this guy. Yeah, we're on disc 2 right now. We're about, yeah, exactly, classic Final Fantasy. This is exactly what it looks like in Final Fantasy V and 4. Really cool design. I think it's a mythical creature in mythology, but really cool design. Actually, I think Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are all 4-disc games. 7, 8, and 9. Is the child alright through that moon? Yeah, he's fine. Doesn't look like it. Like hell, I'm fine. That's funny. Is it Prince Puck? Toriel, where have you been? Let's do it. Good. We got all 4 party members. Nice. Here we go. Well, if this game came out nowadays, and obviously was still split into 4 discs, you'd probably have to pay $29.99 for each disc. Each disc would be a new DLC pack. I feel like Blizzard's gonna do some work. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This game was recently remastered though for the Switch, so definitely check it out if you can. I think they have a mobile version and it might be available for other consoles as well. But it was recently remastered. If you can believe it, it came out in the year 2000, so it's quite retro at this point. 21 years old. Oh, Jesus. Like, what am I supposed to do here? There's obviously a strat to this that I do not know. Oh, cool. Crystal Chronicles remade online as well. I believe that the developers of Crystal Chronicles are the same. Like the art director is the same art director as this game. I could be wrong. Oh, we don't have any healing, anything. Oh, we do. It's just not sorted. Stupid. I gotta sort these items. Of course, we didn't get a chance to use any of our new equipment before this battle. Nice. Will Soul Blade do something? Nope. Yeah, I remember that. It was the GameCube when Crystal Chronicles came out. Oh god, look at this. I'm pretty sure that everyone watching knows how to beat this boss, and I don't know. I remember that. I think I had it, or I think you had it, and we played it at your place. The GameCube version. Ooh. That was dumb. Oh. Well, this is useless. Unless it'll let me Phoenix down. I don't think it will. We're silenced. Yeah, this is part of the, we're going to be doing regular Final Fantasy Friday streams. And we're going to be playing through a whole bunch of the Final Fantasy games. A whole whack of them. Exactly. We've had some really interesting Pokemon. There's a lot of like similar attack names in Pokemon in this game. I'm sure that's the case for most of the Final Fantasies. Let's tutorial it up and not kill us. No. Good. Screwed up there. Shoot. That was dumb. I should have used magic there. Mistakes. I'm not sure if Thunder is the best option here, but it's doing some decent damage. It's doing 608 every time. Do we win? Yes. Yeah, so that strategy worked. There's always a tough boss in Final Fantasy V. You're right, Your Highness. Hey, Toriel, what's up? How can this be? I heard that Your Highness disappeared upon leaving Burmecia. Yeah. Well, let us go at once to the cathedral to inform His Majesty. My old man, huh? Nah, I don't want to see him. Just tell him I said hi, okay? Later. Interesting. So yeah, we when we first started the game as Vivi, or as Hatboy, we bumped into Puck here, and we agreed to be his slave. But he helped us sneak into a tournament, or not a tournament, the play that was being put on by Zidane in the very beginning of the game. The first friend I ever had. Yeah. Nice. I see, you saw Puck, eh? As mischievous as ever. Yeah, so we know that the Queen and is Beatrix or Kuja, are they the same person? I'm not sure. But the Queen and Kuja, who seems to be, I think, is the actual villain of the story, just attacked Burmecia and wiped it out. And these are just the last few people in Burmecia that are left. And Clara's like right next door, so we know they're on the way here. So this might not work. You've changed. You've changed, Toriel. You used to be cool. I could not bring peace to Burmecia and thus fulfill Sir Fratly's wish. But now all I can do is protect this beautiful place. Yeah, protecting Clara, blah blah blah. Doing so, blah blah blah. Okay, do your little dance. Play a little harp. To me? Little Elliott Smith reference in there. Okay. I feel embarrassed for the dancers, like, you know when you feel like overwhelming embarrassment when you watch someone just act like a complete fool? That's what this feels like to me. Watch, they're all gonna start breakdancing, doing windmills and flares. The dance of my people. The strings have snapped. A terrible omen this is. Yeah. Here we go. Here's that cutscene. Looks like the weed nug I'm about to smoke. Oh, surrounded by smoke. Nug life, as you know, as some people would say. I've never witnessed anything like this. Alright. It's just a portal. Just chill. Since ancient times, we have used the power of the stone to control the sandstorm. Perhaps someone is trying to invade Clara. I fear that you may be right, my lord. I only hope our enemies don't come up the trunk. Ooh, that's a gross sentence. Nope. Oh yeah, the princess and Steiner have been kidnapped. As soon as they got back to Alexandria, they realized that the queen has ordered them to be kidnapped. And they were like, what? What? Cool. Oh, she's in her room, though. The other two are captive. I wonder if Mother will even listen to me. Why did she attack Burmecia? And why did she arrest us like this? I must be sincere with her. She hasn't been herself lately. Actually, she's been acting rather strange since my birthday last year. The same day that the tall man visited us. Maybe he had something to do with it. Come to think of it, that was when things began to change. Dr. Tot left Alexandria shortly afterwards as well. What happened that day? Thing 1 and 2. Queen Braun summons you. Come with us. How dare you speak to me like that? That wasn't even rude. They just said that, come with us. The heck? Oh, she's trying to make a commotion. Is it like no, maybe not. I thought she was trying to like create a diversion to escape or something. For so long the queen has waited. Here we go. If this is a live-action movie, Dom DeLuise would have to play the queen. That'd be too funny. If you cast this like as an 80s movie or like a Mel Brooks comedy. I would love to see Final Fantasy IX remade as a Mel Brooks comedy. That would be absolutely ridiculous. The writing would be much better. Is it true that you're responsible for the destruction of Burmecia? Oh well, no wonder you look so concerned. That is far from the truth. You see, those Burmesian rats have been plotting to destroy Alexandria for some time. I couldn't just wait for them to attack and destroy our precious kingdom, so I had no choice but to take initiative. Is that really the truth? Of course. Don't believe her. I don't believe you. Oh, Sephiroth. May I also play a part in this act? Act? Yes, an act from a beautiful play. There is a knight on a white horse and a beautiful princess. It is a tale of tragic love. Overcome by grief, the princess must sleep for 100 years. I've seen you before. It appears we were destined to meet again. Oh, in the one town, in Treno, I believe. My sweet angel, come to me. I will take you to a world of dreams. What the? Okay, that's pretty messed up. What? Prepare to extract the Eidolons from Garnet. I don't remember any of this from my first playthrough of this game. So yeah, this is basically like a semi-blind playthrough. I remember little bits and pieces. Some pretty epic music. A belated happy birthday, princess. Weird. The Eidolons are something to do with controlling the mist. There's a connection there in the story. Hope everyone that's watching is having an amazing Friday so far. And if you're not following the channel already, go ahead and click that follow button. It really helps the channel to grow, and we're almost at affiliate. So yeah, we haven't even been streaming for an entire month, but we stream daily. And you can actually check in and see what I'm going to stream every single day from 1 p.m. Pacific onward. Did you know the sandstorm was here for 1,000 years, and in all that time it never disappeared, not even once? Perhaps Braun is behind all this. What about that guy who was with Braun? Actually, I'm more concerned about who that guy with Braun and Burmecia was. That man, I wonder who he was. 3 Up Moon, I'm gonna head down to find out why the sandstorm disappeared. Hey, I was thinking the same thing. Let's go together. I'm gonna go find Hat Boy and Licky Tongue. I'll meet you at the town entrance. Of course, there's no one here, right? Yeah. That's one big pet peeve, is that there's so many moments where you just have one person in your party. And I just want to equip everything. There we go. Now we got Partisan. Spear adorned with brilliant gems, originally made as a decoration. Just pick that one up. Mithril Helmet, Thunder Gloves, which is, I thought we could have maybe given it to Hatboy, but I think only Toriel can equip Thunder Gloves. Still really useful. I don't think that we have any Thunder Elemental attacks right now with Toriel. Mithril Armor we just picked up 2, so yeah, we're pretty decent in terms of equipment. Gonna probably want to go to the inn, if possible. Because there is a Mog here. I'm worried. Just speak up if you need anything from me. Yeah, we already have all this stuff. How about a 3-piece... Oh, it's stilt skin. Nice. How about a 3-piece combo of High Potion, Ether, and Phoenix Pinion? Absolutely. All those are useful. Thanks to you, kid, I can continue my journey. And just like we are supporting and making it possible for Stiltskin to continue his journey, you can also make it possible for us to continue live streaming every single day by doing one-time donations through PayPal to 3upmoonget@gmail.com. What that does is help support the channel and help keep it going. You can also become a patron on Patreon, and there are all sorts of really cool perks. I have custom 3Up Moon merch that's available for people who are in the second and third tier of Patreon, and also we'll be doing some bonus videos where I'll be drumming and jamming to some of my favorite video game music. You'll have an opportunity to just have those links sent to you exclusively. I'll basically be doing themed videos, all my favorite water themes from the games we're playing on the stream, all my favorite desert themes, boss battle themes, things like that. And also be a little bit of history, trying to weave the story of the soundtracks together. And you then become someone who is directly supporting the channel, and you also get a mention in every single video and stream that we do. So if you want to support the channel that way, you can go ahead and do that. I think we have to go to the entrance, right? Awesome. There we go. Alright, let's get going. I couldn't find Puck. I wonder if he went down the trunk. This city have very yummy sand. This city delicious. I feel like Licky Tongue's voice has got to be like the Cookie Monster, but I can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. Love this song. Yeah, we're doing great for stats right now. Like 3Up Moon, we're almost at 800 HP. The same for Toriel, and Licky Tongue's a tank. We need to just boost Licky Tongue's defense somehow, if we can. So let's try and equip everybody with what we've got. All of our new gear. Nice. I love the optimize feature. It really, really helps. I know it's in the earlier Final Fantasies as well. There we go. That should beef us up. Nice. Isn't this what we're trying to do? We're trying to leave Clara. I'm not sure if this is exactly the direction we're supposed to be going, but we'll roll with it for now. Oh, we got Fyra now too. Sweet. In fact, is it because we have the flame staff? Let me double check. I'm not 100% sure how the lightning and flame staff are supposed to work. check here real quick. Oh yeah, we're in the right spot. It's just now the sand has completely stopped everywhere, so we can traverse a few more places. We can clear right here. That's cool. So we still have Thundara and Fyra. So maybe it isn't the stats that give you those spells. Not 100% how all the equipment and items work in this game. Let's see. Let me just quickly check my equipment. No, yeah. Cool. So we just know Fyra. Awesome. That's cool. Ooh. We're just gonna have to fight a few of these Team Rocket grunts. I mean, these Alexandria soldiers. Before we get to Giovanni, I mean Queen Braun. Trying to see what Fyra does here. Welcome to the stream for those that are just joining in. Toriel has performed Kaioken times 1,000 or 10,000. That trance mode, Super Saiyan Toriel. I named Freya Toriel in reference, obviously, to Undertale. If you haven't played that game, check it out. It's really fun. There's lots of people who stream it and stream different types of runs. That's a new move as well. Toriel just learned Lancer. That's actually quite good. There's a lot of damage. And it looks like it also takes away some MP as well. So it does damage to the HP and MP, which is interesting. For those that are just joining in, we're in Disc 2 and we have just done the stuff we need to do in Clara, and all the sand has stopped, so the sandstorm has stopped. So that's where we're at now. We're just leaving together as a party, and we've got full equipment for everyone. A moment, 3-up moon. A moment. Those Team Rocket grunts back there, weren't they too few in number to constitute a determined attack? Let's wipe them out! Hey Benny Souls, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Love the MC mentality of always letting people know what's coming. Oh, thanks, Ben. It's built into me. From being an MC and doing the live show thing, and then to doing this, it's like... I'm doing good. This is, I think the 7th stream we've done for Final Fantasy IX so far. Really having a blast at rediscovering this game for our Final Fantasy Friday series. Earlier today we were doing SMB 3, Mario 3. Oh no! The black mages are attacking. Wow, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. This is kind of an extension of the live music thing, as best as I could come up with, that made sense to me. A place where I could foster community, and I've honestly had such an incredible experience so far. Met lots of really good people, really great streamers, and supportive followers as well. I don't know. These very Kingdom Hearts looking enemies. I'm not sure if Chris, you were mentioning that like Crystal Chronicles earlier, and I think that the art director of this game, or the team from Final Fantasy IX, worked on Crystal Chronicles. I think also they worked on Final Fantasy Tactics. There's some connection there. You'd have to look it up to for sure, like to be sure. Answer it up. Got our new attack. Nice. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good attack. Totally. There's a lot of really similar to like Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross aesthetics to the design of the characters. And if you can believe it, this game came out in 2000. So it came out a while ago. Also, oh, I'm gonna run away. Also, it was just recently remade, remastered for. Oh, let me talk to this guy. It was remastered, I think, for the Switch. What just happened? I don't know, but I'm gonna save. Actually, do we have everyone? Yeah, we don't need to use a tent yet. Let's just save. Welcome to the stream, those that are just joining. Always gotta save. Yeah, Stegosaurus McCartney in the chat, he named Hatboy. When we were naming all the characters, the chat was suggesting names. The perfect name. Hatboy is best boy. You're playing Resident Evil 4 right now with your brother. Yeah, that was a fantastic game. I had it for GameCube and really liked it. It really freshened up that series. That'd be a fun one to revisit. And that was also remade, I believe. Oh, nice. Yeah, I never beat it, that's for sure. I just casually played Resident Evil 4, like, I never got to the end of it. Oh, remastered, cool. And I think that's also the case with Final Fantasy IX, it's just been remastered. Right. Interesting. So, Thunder, I think, can attack everyone, right? It said in the menu that Thunder could attack multiple enemies. We are overkilling these guys right now. Right on, Chris. Thanks so much for tuning in. Shoot me a link when you finish your video and upload your video to YouTube. If there's any fans of anime or manga out there, you can follow Chris on YouTube. Actually, if you want to post a link to your YouTube channel, you can go ahead and do that. And if you're watching live, you can also follow me on YouTube and watch every single stream that we've done, every playthrough and all the parts leading up. I think it'd be really cool to see a Resident Evil 4 remake. For the Switch. I'd be so into playing that on the Switch. Playing it portable, that'd be great. I will also be doing some Switch streaming as well. I'm just going to take some time the next couple of weeks to configure my settings. I got a brand new Switch capture card we'll be playing a handful of the Switch games. Oh, totally, yeah. Well, the earlier stream, the randomized Mario streams that we've been doing, Super Mario World and Mario Brothers 3, they're more practice playthroughs anyways. I'm practicing to eventually get good enough to race, to do a randomized race. And earlier today I was actually watching I can't remember the name of the channel, but I was watching a Zelda Ocarina of Time randomized race. They can get pretty crazy. With those randomizers too, I highly recommend knowing the game inside and out, otherwise it's going to be really difficult typically. So if you know a game really well and you want to kind of experience it in a different way, then I'd recommend trying a randomizer if you're looking for a challenge. But yeah, no save states in our RPGs or anything like that. Also, we played Earthbound randomized and couldn't really save state there either, so... Yeah, exactly. So this is obviously not randomized, we're just playing the straight game here. Up. 3 up, no, not 3 right now. Oh no! Sorry. Don't gotta listen to me. We just witnessed 2 people die because we made an arbitrary choice. I apologize. Everyone watching, you don't tell anyone. Keep that to yourselves. Yeah, for Zelda, yeah, totally. So, the Zelda randomization is interesting. It starts you in a random place, and then basically the order that you check items and interact with, like the order that you basically check all the key items is different every time. Similar to Link to the Past. Feeling these Lancers here. Yeah. Snowing pretty crazily actually. It's super wet outside. Lots of snow. Very nostalgic to Ontario days. But yeah, it started, I don't know, like 3 or 4 hours ago it started. I think it was 3 or 4 hours ago it started snowing, so now it's just all covered. No, it'll melt tomorrow. Or the next day. Uh-oh. Okay, this is... The last one was my arbitrary choice, so which one should we choose here? I'm gonna let the chat decide the fate of this family here, not me. I chose up last time. Go left? Alright, let's do it. Fingers crossed. Oh, nice. Saved the family. We were able to, nice. We were able to intersect the Black Mages. Oh, wrong one. That's okay. Nice. Oh. Wanted to Lancer the mage in the middle. That's okay though. We've got to ether up Toriel here. And Hatboy. One more hit. Oh no. Yeah, I like the aesthetic of most of the characters here and how it reminds me of Kingdom Hearts a lot. 420. Heck yeah. Final blow, 420. Gotta be faster with Yo, let me... I knew it. It's not gonna let me... There we go. I want to heal here. Nice, we're at 856. We cracked 800 for our HP for 3-up moon, and we're just about there for Toriel. That's awesome. Everyone's getting beefed up here with HP. Thank you. It's going to make it much easier in battle. Oh no, we have to pick again. 3 up, 3 right, or 3 left moon. I'll pick this one. Right. Right? Nice, yes. Oh. I also really appreciate that when they, as the story progresses, we get different versions and iterations of the battle music. It's sort of its evolving atmospheric thing. It's cool. So you're not just stuck hearing the same battle theme over and over like in Final Fantasy 1, where there's like a boss battle theme and a battle theme, but there's not, there might be 2 or 3 in that game, but something that was clearly taken into Final Fantasy X for sure. No, any of the more modern ones. I haven't played the more modern Final Fantasy ones. No. Like anything past X2. X2 is the most recent Final Fantasy that I've played. X and X2, and then 11 and onward. I just never played any of them. Ooh, Tactics is great. I have that. I haven't played it in years, but I do have that. It's a great game. And I believe the Advance remake, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, is quite good. It's got a whole bunch of bonus content. If you haven't gotten a chance to play that, or you have Game Boy Advance. Oh, me too. I had Spyro as well. But yeah, Tactics was pretty complex in terms of the game, the storyline, and the strategy behind it. I think it's a game that it does age much better than a lot of other classic games. Be worth checking out for sure. I highly recommend it. Boss fight in here, maybe? My spear will purge this land of you. Who is this? Oh, this is gotta be Sir Fratley for sure. Who is Toriel's partner, I believe, that's been missing this whole time. You shall fall like leaves in the wind under the force of my blade. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll be playing a bunch of RPGs on the channel. We're doing one at a time. But I do have Paper Mario in that list. We're going to be playing Paper Mario and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. They're 2 RPGs that are close to my heart that I have a lot of nostalgia connection to. So those 2 are next, not necessarily next on the list, but they are on my list for sure. Also, in the beginning of the stream, we were listening to music from Golden Sun. I didn't play too much of it. Oh, yo, I know. So I don't know if we'll do Paper Mario Randomizer, but I might just play through it normally. That'd be crazy, though. Yeah, this is Sir Fratley. I began my search for you immediately after you left Burmecia. Where have you been all these years? To what corners of the world have you traveled, my dear Fratley? I climbed the highest mountains only to hear rumors of your victories. I searched the deepest valleys only to find your footsteps. But I never found you, and in the end, it doesn't really matter. Toriel, you say? I believe this is the first time we met. What did you just say? I'm sorry, I can't remember you for the life of me. You jest. You cannot have forgotten me. It's me, Toriel. Toriel of Burmecia. Hey, wait a minute. You can't be serious. It's Toriel, your lost love. How could you forget her? Well, I'll say something. That's enough, 3-Up Moon. What? You've been searching for this guy for years, and now he's right here. Do you remember me, the king of Burmecia? Not at all, I'm afraid. Impossible. Have you forgotten everything that is past? Then let me ask you this. What brought you back to Burmecia? Is it not because you learned of the crisis here in Clara, whose people are our brothers? As a matter of fact, it isn't. Nice Dragon Ball Z reference. Just look up Dragon Ball Z. As a matter of fact, it isn't. In fact, I'm going to right now just because I want to. There are just some golden lines in some anime dubs. I'm pretty sure this is the thing I'm thinking of. This might be the video I'm looking for. Just a moment here.
Vegeta, I didn't realize you were going to be here too.
Hold on a second. Will it be worth it? My internet's going so slow.
Vegeta, I didn't realize you were going to be here too.
No, it's not gonna load. It's basically, Vegeta, I didn't realize you were gonna be here too. Is that okay? As a matter of fact, it isn't. Just like really weirdly paced or toned voice acting. House of the Dead has one of my, which is a shooter, has one of my favorite. It's not saying much. It's terrible. But yeah, House of the Dead has some of my favorite terrible voice acting lines. 100% worth looking up if you're looking for a laugh. I must go. Is that okay? No.
Vegeta, I didn't realize you were going to be here too.
I did not mean for that to play again. Vegeta. Oh, totally. Hat Boy has no idea what's going on. To find the man about whom I have dreamt endlessly, only to discover that he cannot even remember who I am. Come, 3 at Moon. The enemy's hand has not been stilled. We must regroup. Tutorial. Yeah. Oh no! Have mercy. Pathetic rodents. You fail to grasp the true power of this jewel. Our magic stone. Now that I have this jewel, I am through with your city. Oh, she's gonna do the same thing that she did to Burmecia. Maybe. Bish. What a bish. You're a bigger tool than I imagined. Oh, fool. Have you forgotten how badly I beat you in Burmecia? No, you are more the fool for not finishing what you started. You're gonna pay. Hack boy. Boss fight, nice. Or sub boss, I guess. Really appreciate the epic music as well. Yeah, unique battle music for everybody. It's great. Nice. Hitting for 420 again. Yeah, House of the Dead was total Toonie Eater. It was a difficult game, really difficult game. But also fun. I think there's also Typing of the Dead, which is a really fun version of that game that required you to type words and practice your typing skills. There's some funny YouTube videos of that if you're interested in checking it out. I think it came with a keyboard controller and everything. I believe it was for Dreamcast, actually. Sorry, Torio. Here's Phoenix Pinion, because it's a battle-only item, so... Fire Blast. Oh, nice, we're tranced. But we missed out on... Oh, that sucks. We could have timed that one better. Oh no, we didn't. Cool. Deals physical damage to all enemies. Yep. Yep. Like the limit break. Heck yeah. 1976, great year for funk music. Just Google 1976 funk and you will 100% be dancing like that. That's what I thought. Scripted. She's too powerful. Black mages, our work here is done. Commence withdrawal immediately. disappeared. What now, Toriel? Good question. 3 Up Moon, look out behind you. There, I'm gonna follow him. Everyone follow me. Oh, it's a portal. Where is it? No one followed him. No one even tried. That's so silly. Follow me, everyone. Nah. That's amazing. I highly doubt I will. Blah, blah, blah. Besides, this may be your last chance to find the truth about who you are. Come, Hat Boy, show us your courage. Oh, never mind. Okay, so they're all gonna one by one? That's silly. It seems very, like, unbelievable that they would all... They should have all jumped to the first portal. Whatever. So we just don't use Kina or Licky Tongue because he doesn't like heights. That's funny. Without her summoning powers, Garnet is helpless. With this dark matter, I now hold the power to summon an Eidolon. Now I'll find out if Kuch's claims are true. Odin, come to me. Okay. Dom DeLuise as Queen Bran. It's Independence Day, and the Avengers' entire Civil War arc all wrapped into one. And Doom. It's Will Smith as the genie. Yeah, that's a Dom DeLuise face if I've ever seen it. Definitely. Oh. Okay. Did you see that? Clara, Puck, Licky Tongue, they're all gone. Damn it. Yeah. It's Jeff Goldblum's voice, but Will Smith is the actor. Toriel, I think 3 Up Moon's calling for us. Please leave me alone. Beatrix, go find the last one. Yes, Your Majesty. By the way, how's the princess doing? Garnet, we've drawn all the eidolons from her. She's no longer of any use to me. What do you mean, Your Majesty? Garnet has committed a crime. I shall have her executed for stealing the jewel. What? Don't make me repeat myself. When we get back to Alexandria, I'll have Garnet beheaded. Now go, find the last jewel. Your Majesty. Tifa. Calm down. Fighting them now would be senseless. They still have Garnet in custody. So what are you saying? We should just stand here? We've got to get to Alexandria before Braun. It's the only way. The only question is how. 3 at Moon, follow me. Boy, where are you going? I'm gonna probably piggyback towards, or to Alexandria in these portals. Oh, buddy. Yes. Please. Come back. Yes. Thank you. I like that. He runs off and goes, no, 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 you can save him. Oh, that was useless. As soon as I pressed X to use the tent, I realized that we were full health. But that's okay. They're not super expensive, and we've got a decent amount of gil. Oh no, not slot 1. Good. Oh, what? Do we actually only have, oh, weird. See, that makes no sense to me. Just because they, like, walked ahead of you doesn't mean they shouldn't be in the party. Like, I get the logic behind it, but it's just silly. And then, like, right now, they'll be added to the party. It just seems like such a dumb, like, thing. Like, an unnecessary thing to do in the intro, you know? Seems like Hatboy has a plan. Okay, alright. Seems like he does. Remember how that soldier was talking about using these pods to go to Alexandria? Sure. Well, here goes nothing. Mr. Sparkle! Totally makes me think of the Mr. Sparkle commercial from The Simpsons. The time has come to escape. How? I don't know, but we must do something. Wait, I have an idea. Here's another fourth wall break moment. Press left or right on the D-pad to shift your center of gravity. Oh yeah. Oh. What? This music totally makes me think of the Inspector Gadget theme song. Right? It's like... It's definitely a song doppelganger, for sure. Princess, I'm coming. Oh wow, everyone else is level 16 to 17. We're stuck at level 11 and 12. But we've got the best possible equipment that we can have. Marcus has no abilities. its back attacks now. Cover. Well, we're pretty much all good to go in terms of equipment. I want Steiner and so Biff and Hatboy to be on the same party again because we can use sword magic. We haven't been able to use sword magic for a while, where we can imbue Biff's sword with fire, thunder, or ice magic. It's a pretty cool ability, but it feels quite underused, at least at this point in the game. We also need to find those specific coins. I'm trying to think. I think it was Trano. There was a woman there that was collecting these coins. We had one. They're astrological coins. I think it was Aries, and we got some money for it. But if we get, I think 3 more of them, we'll eventually unlock the blood sword in Trano, and we want to give that to Biff because if it's kind of one of his best weapons from what I was gathering. If he's does damage, like does 127 damage or 500 damage, then he'll heal for 127 or heal for 500. So it essentially allows him to like absorb the damage he does, and he can never be knocked out. So it's quite useful in the end game. So we want to remember that we have to go back to Trano once we have collected those coins. One of the side quests that we want to keep in mind as we're going through the game. Oh yeah, I guess interesting outfits. I see what you're saying, Daryl. The butts of the Alexandria soldiers. Not really protecting anything. Especially when you're fighting someone with a sword, you can't just wear a helmet and then just be in a bikini. It's pretty fun. But that's typical of most female characters in fantasy games. Too many pixels for this guy. That's funny. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. It's like the Inspector Gadget theme meets the Godfather, that like Godfather soundtrack, fast guitar picking. On this, the day of my daughter's wedding. Oh, cool. Just as I said, it would be really cool if Steiner and Hatboy were on the party together again. Obviously, that's why Licky Tongue stayed behind, so that we could pick this guy up. What are you doing here? Biff, is this Alexandria? What? I have no time for your silly questions. I must escape this wretched dungeon of Alexandria and rescue the princess. Enough said, let's go. Boom, boom. Hurry up, Rusty. Tifa's life's in danger. What are you talking about? Enough with your nonsense. It's true. We were just on the Red Rose, and we overheard Queen Braun talking. She said that once she returns to Alexandria, she's gonna have Tifa executed. Is this really true? Yeah, we got 30 minutes before Braun arrives, so let's go. Oh. Crazy. Watch out, I'm closing the gate. What are you doing here? It's a long story. I'm gonna go to Evil Forest now and help Blank. Good luck. We're gonna go find Tifa. Hey, hey. How's it going again, Two-Tone? We're getting some definite progress here. Oh. Is that better for audio balance? Should be a bit better. Nice. Oh, no. Not cool. I totally just attacked one of my own dudes. Yeah, that was dumb. Big mistake. Biff got biffed. Shoot. Hopefully the timer pauses here when we're in the menu, but it doesn't look like it. Shoot. No, it does not. Okay. That's all we got. That's all we got for healing, so let's try and see if we can figure out where the princess is. Get out of here! It's like the opening sequence of Super Metroid. Basically any time limit moment makes me think of, in a game like this, makes me think of the beginning of Super Metroid. I think if I remember correctly, the princess's room is up here. Oh, Hat Boy's gonna get into trance mode here in just a moment. Unnecessary though, but cool. Right on, Daryl. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you were able to just chill and relax and enjoy the stream. Tomorrow, just like any day, every single day, I'm streaming daily from 1 p.m. Pacific. So tomorrow we'll be streaming around 1 or 1:30, and I'll probably be playing some more Final Fantasy. Also, what do we have going on right now on the channel? We've got Pokemon Stadium 2 Randomizer, and we're on the Elite Four, so we could take on that. We'll be doing some more Mario Bros. 3 practice, and we've also got Final Fantasy 9 going. And the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. So there's a handful of games that we're playing. So we'll probably play one of those. We'll definitely play some Mario 3 for some practice. But yeah, have an awesome night. Yeah, right on, man. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. If you get a chance, you should also try and follow Two-Tone8. If you want to click on his name and click follow. Anyone who isn't following Two-Tone8 already is a really good retro streamer, really supportive. Let's help his channel to grow as well. I don't think I can go this way, can I? Oh no! Also, you followed Daryl. You followed Asteria Dochuki recently. Huge Frank Zappa fan, so that's a good thing to note if you're in the stream there and want to start talking about Zappa. We spent a few streams talking about Zappa ourselves, so cool. These people, that's so funny. The chefs are still cooking, just like in the very beginning of the game. Can we run? Is there a way to run from fights? Another hit for 420. Take those potions all day, for sure. Oh, it's up here. Yes. This is where the princess's room was, so I'm not sure if... Oh, you know what? We might need to go to the dungeon, if there's access to a dungeon here. Because she was in her room, but then Thorn and Zorn took her to the dungeon to have the Eidolons drained out of her, whatever that means. Hold on a second here. I think Biff's getting hit again here by mistake. Yeah, shoot. That's twice I've done that now. And Toriel is like beefy with attacks, so it's a little tough. Nice. I missed being able to do that. It's nice to have both Steiner and Vivi in the party again. Where could she be? What a weird looking candle. Try to move it. Of course. Of course. Typical RPG princess room fodder. Hello, mother. Hello, fodder. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'll take the time. Yep, thank you, thank you. Ice brand, interesting. Weapon with an ice spirit dwelling inside. Elemental attack ice and add status freeze. Cool. One of these folks can use it, I know that. Yes. I'm into that. So Biff's got ice elemental sword, even without having to imbue it with Hatboy's magic. That's cool. This is a really cool area. This particular screen is designed quite well. I like it. Oh, they found her. Oh, we're gonna have to take on this boss fight here, aren't we? What are you doing here? So meddlesome you are, mercy no more. Okay. We're pretty trained up, pretty high level. Not Biff. Biff is like level 12, but he will get some experience from this fight. Oh, shoot. Yeah, they're gonna boost each other up like Bustle and Minun or something. Interesting. Wizard Sword. Nice. 555. Yeah, so I still don't know what regen does. Oh, cool. Just slow healing. Sweet. Super attack. Okay, so it is quite useful. It just takes turns to heal. I gotcha. Yes. They're retreating, or something's happening here. They're retreating. Nice. Cool, cool. Yeah, so I had a feeling... This fight reminded me of the Fawful fight from Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, so these are going to be recurring fights, definitely. Damn you, we'll get you for this. We're finished with Garnet, you're too late. I don't deserve to live. Her heart's still beating. Yeah, I know. Let's get out of here. Tifa, you're gonna be alright. Friendship. Friendship. Oh, cool. Phew, I'm bushed from all that running. I can't stop. Hold on, bro. I'm coming. Really, really cool environment here. Beautiful atmosphere. Use a tent here. Are we still in a time limit, or is it a time limit to find the princess? Let's just double check here. Okay. Yes, we will overwrite. And who's in our party? Cool. Everybody. Nice. Okay, we're not on a time limit. Sweet. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the stream here for the night. I want to say thank you so much to every single person who has been watching live on twitch.tv/3up_moon. A big shout out to 2Tone8 for raiding the channel earlier and for all the support. Now, if you're watching this on Twitch and you aren't already following the channel, please consider giving the channel a follow. You'll find out when and what I'm streaming next. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, we're going to be streaming from 1 p.m. Pacific onward. And also, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, then you can go ahead and click subscribe. That is where all the streams are posted. So if you miss a part or you want to see us play this game from the very beginning, you can check out part 1 in all of our playlists there. You can follow me on Twitter at 3up_moon as well if you want to reach out to me or share any game memories or any nostalgic stories or rumors that you have connected to retro games of your past. And other than that, I want you to have a great night, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for joining me for Final Fantasy Friday.